This is Hazel. She's a day short of 13 weeks old. This is a 19-hour-old skin drag laid yesterday afternoon around 1 o'clock. It was quite warm. When I ran these tracks yesterday right before dark with her and her brother, actually they had quite a bit of difficulty. The scenting was pretty tough. We'll see what happens here this morning. Find it, girl. Wind's coming from right to left. She should hit the line right there. Well, that's a good sign. You can see the ribbon straight out through here. I thought it might be a little more moist this morning. The ground has more moisture than it did yesterday from last night's condensation, but it's not bad. It appears, at least so far, that scenting is easier this morning than it was last night. The line is right here. She's over here right now. Should be hitting the line right there. Perfect. Interesting. Hunter had trouble at this same spot yesterday. He was stuffed down here, but she worked it up here, so I don't think she's following him. I don't know why that's such a difficult spot there. Line's over here. Good girl. She's working downwind of the line. You can see the ribbon here. You got wind coming from the right to the left. See how she does with this log. Oh good, she went under. She's had some trouble going over logs. Line goes through here. There's some kind of a path here. I don't know if it's a bicycle path or the animals run through here. I don't think it's really a bicycle path. Maybe it could be a walking path. It's hard to tell. line's right through there. Right around, somewhere right in there, she should hit it. Looks like she has it. Log, actually this one here I went under the big log there, the big end of the log. Good job. There's a turn. Last night I made a mistake on this. Well, I didn't make a mistake. I was confused for quite some time. I thought it turned left. Hunter worked it to the left a long time. That's what made me think it went left. But actually the turn is to the right up the hill. I don't know how the wind was blowing when I laid this line yesterday afternoon, but it's very interesting that both dogs are working so far off the line to the downhill side of the line. They're not working. I don't think she's following him because I don't think came out this far. And some of the things in this first part of the line didn't match exactly what he did. So I don't think she's following him, but perhaps yesterday when I laid the line, it was so warm and the skin wasn't particularly moist. I think a lot of the scent just lifted right off the skin and drifted and didn't stick. This is just really odd how both these dogs worked yesterday, and I see it again today. When you can see the wind, you would think she would grab that leg real easily. Search! Search! Looks like she was kind of giving up there for a moment. So might as well use the search command to save this turn. Search! Search! Well, she's not responding to it. I'll let her work. I didn't like that she ran up and sat at my feet there. No. Search. Search. Hazel, search. 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 This is the turn. Goes right up here. She was using a lot of energy there, searching in the wrong area on her own, and when she kind of sat at my feet, not a good sign, and then started digging in the ground with something that interested her, I thought it better to take over and redirect her to the line. I didn't want to just show it to her directly and put her on it, so I used the search command, which I'm slowly introducing to her, to let her know that when she hears the word search, if she goes the direction that I am directing her, she'll bump the line again. I don't want her to think that I know where the line is. That's something you have to be careful of. Kind of going over that in my head right now. It wouldn't be the worst thing for a tracking dog if, when they really don't know where it is and can't find it, they give you an indication. Sometimes we teach the dog to give an indication of when there's nothing there, and perhaps if that comes naturally to her, when she can't find it, she comes over and sits at my feet. If that became a habit, I don't know that that would be the worst thing. Indicating, hey, I can't find it, it's gone, I've lost it. As long as I don't then show her where it is, and I use a search command that she actually has to find it, I don't just directly show her, and she doesn't start forming too frequent of a habit of saying, hey Dad, I've lost it, show me where it is, help me search for it. That might be okay to do. I'm going to have to give that some thought. You don't want the dog to become dependent upon that. As I remember correctly, I think I went over the low side of that log, but I'm not sure. just did that sitting thing again, and I did not want to help her at that point. Let her work it on her own. I don't want that to become a habit. Done a pretty thorough job searching back. And she's obviously come around here to the right, and hopefully she's going to bump the line there any second and have it again. The line's on the left side of that tree, up where the mark is. That should be the line right there. I don't think she grabbed it, maybe. The wind's right to left right now. And that's the line right there. Okay, she's got it again. It was a big check all on her own. I'm okay with that. Good girl. I'm sure that's the line. Yeah, this is pretty odd. The scenting here is very odd. When I laid this line, it must have all just kind of drifted to the side when I laid it. It didn't stick too hard right where the skin drug. I had the skin on a string tied to my belt, and 1/3 of it was kind of suspended from on the rope, and 2/3 of it was dragging on the ground, so it must not have pressed on the ground that hard, and that part up in the air must have really sent downwind. Really odd here. Turn right here to the right. That was a nice job on her part, recognizing she lost it. Very good. I'm glad to see that. Always wondering if the dogs follow each other. Hunter got all sucked down that path last night. He was all over the place here, and looks like she's going to get it pretty quickly. Yep, she got that perfectly. She's definitely not following her brother, because he went way down the path and around and around. He had quite a bit of trouble here last night. Good. It's the only thing you got to watch for when you're reusing a line, that the dog's not tracking the dog before. This line is 19 hours old, but Hunter's path and my path from yesterday is only like 12 hours old. It looks like she's most definitely still on the tracking the scent drag, the skin, not Hunter or I. If you've been following my videos, the original main purpose of this line was supposed to be that it would be an easy line that the dogs could just kind of blast right down after having done a couple of pretty hard configuration lines a couple of tracks before that. I wanted something real easy for the dogs. Well, that didn't work out. You can see this certainly isn't easy. Just working pretty hard, but once you have a line in the woods, you hate to walk away from it. So we used it anyways. Even though it's a little difficult. She's learning something. I'm gonna try my best to do a couple of super easy lines after this. I guess what I'm gonna do is just do a drag with a pretty moist skin. I'm gonna go to a new skin that's nice and super fresh. Maybe even wet it a little bit. Make a ton of scent, and maybe even let them watch me drag it. Really motivate them. Probably not that, but something super easy. Of course, that's what this was supposed to be, but I didn't come out that way. I don't want the dogs at this age to have to work hard all the time, although I don't think she's stressed. And I certainly like the speed and the style that I'm seeing. Mine's over here. Good girl. Goes right up through these ferns. Not too much further to go, maybe 50 yards. Very good. Mine's over here. Wind right now is kind of coming like this. Coming from into our face, maybe from about 1:30. Oh, do you see that little stinker? She thought, that's too hard to climb through there. I see an easier way. She didn't want to go through there, so she went around. You're doing the same thing there. You can't argue that a dog that just blasts through our obstacles because she wants it so bad is a good thing. But it's an equally good argument when the dog's smart enough to see an easier way. I think both have their attributes. I noticed from practically day one when I looked at her in Denmark, first time we took her in the forest, she was a thinker. line again. Got about 30 yards to go. I don't know if you can see the triple ribbon up there. Good girl. Line goes across these logs. You can see the ribbon up there. She may have winded the skin now, by the looks of things. That's what happened last night with Hunter. He winded it. He came from this side, though. Yep, she's winded it. Skin's on the other side of that log, buried under some leaves. I left the skin in overnight. Oh, good girl. Good girl. Left the skin in overnight, so I covered it up so it wouldn't get too covered with bugs. Good girl. Good girl, Hazel, huh? Good girl. Oh, what a good girl you are. Yeah, huh? Give me that, huh? Give me that thing. Oh, good girl. Good girl. That's Hazel. 1 day short of 13 weeks old, coming along nicely. Good girl, yeah. Oh, yeah. Wow, what is that? What is that, huh? Good girl.